So how long has this been going on, this thing? How long?
4 months.
4 months?
5 months, actually.
She's right. I'm wrong.
Attaboy. Better get used to saying that.
Oh boy, that is from the box office hit Get Out. Critics predict it will be a Best Picture contender at the Academy Awards. It was written and directed by comedian turned horror movie director Jordan Peele. The thriller follows a black man who meets his white girlfriend's family for the first time. This is a social commentary on race relations in America. Peele, as you know, got his big break back in 2003 when he joined the sketch comedy series MadTV. He created and starred in the Emmy-winning series Key and Peele with fellow MadTV alum Keegan-Michael Key in 2012. Their popular sketch about President Obama's anger translator showed Peele's knack for impersonating the former president.
I just want to say to my critics, I hear your voices, and I'm aware of your concerns.
So maybe if you can chill the hell out for like a second, then maybe I can focus on some you know?
And that goes for everybody, including members of the Tea Party.
Oh, don't even get me started on these motherfuckers right here.
I want to assure you that we will be looking for new compromises with the GOP in the months ahead.
And you know these motherfuckers gonna say no before I even suggest some
Now,
It is still funny. Jordan Peele, welcome back to the table.
Thank you.
The other funny thing you guys used to do is mess up people's names. You were like C. Harley Rose.
Yeah, C. Harley. C. Harley.
C. Harley. I always
Yeah.
thought that was very funny.
Thank
Let's talk about Get Out.
All
We've
right.
all at the table seen the movie.
Yeah.
And I've seen it 3 times. I'd see it twice in 1 week just to do the translation.
Oh.
But what is the story, Jordan, you were trying to tell? Because when I heard Jordan Peele horror movie, I went, what?
You know, I was trying to bring a piece of the conversation I'd never seen put on film before. I felt like there was this void in the way we talk about race, especially at the time when I wrote it, which was actually a very similar time to when we wrote the Obama Luther translator sketch. We felt like racism was not being called out sufficiently enough for us.
And you said you're trying to tell your own truth. What is that?
Well, really, my truth as a black man, you know, that my perspective that I haven't seen in film before. I haven't seen that represented.
Like?
So, like, in the party scene in Get Out, for example, it's a scene where, you know, it's a group. He's the only black guy. It's a bunch of older white people who are trying to connect with him on his blackness first, and saying things like, you know, I know Tiger, I know Tiger, right? And that's a situation that, you know, I've been in. I think every minority has been in. I imagine you know, if you're a woman in a room full of men, you're viewed as a woman before you're viewed as a human being, and it's those little. It's, you know, on the surface, it's a harmless thing, but what I wanted to point out with this film is that it's connected to the deep horror of racism.
How is doing scary movies similar to doing comedy?
Great question. I mean, they're both, for me, they're both about truth. If you're not accessing something that feels true, you're not doing it right. And they also, the technique of them, you have to be very tuned into the audience and their emotion. And that's why with both forms, the technique is tension building and release.
What's interesting about you, and from previous conversation with you, you wanted to be a filmmaker before you wanted to be a comedian.
Yeah.
Comedy was an access to get going.
I got sidetracked with an amazing, fortunate comedy career, which was you know a joy. You know, I spent 10 years laughing, and you know, but I had something else to say, and I had something I think a more important statement that. I had to put in a long form.
But it's interesting, the story is about the black guy who goes to meet his white girlfriend's family and the horror that unfolds with that. Did the fact that you were married to a white woman, did that play into the story you were trying to tell?
It's like it's one of these like blink 3 times if you're in trouble. No, I wrote the movie before I met my wife.
Before you met Chelsea.
Before I met
Yes,
Chelsea.
yes.
So I can't claim it's about her and her
she
family.
gets this.
She gets it.
And the in-laws are okay with this one.
And the in-laws are okay. The in-laws are cool. I'm very fortunate, very lucky. You know, I married a comedian, so
Yes.
she gets it, and she's very cool.
Can I pick up on that? Because you were able to beautifully weave comedy into this movie as well. I have newfound appreciation for TSA agents. One is actually the sort of hero in this movie. How important was it to include comedy, obviously not taking away from the drama and the thriller that the movie really is?
It's pretty important. You know, I'm putting my audience through a lot with this movie. A lot of tension, a lot of uncomfortable situations. It is, and there are moments it's hard to watch. There's moments you want to scream, "Get out!"
Right.
Yes.
And
Yes.
so where, you know, Little Rel Howery, who plays Rod, you know, his character was kind of the release valve for the audience. And it was important for me that he comes in and he speaks the truth too. So there's no line that's intended for, there's no jokes in the movie. It's all meant to feel true. It's all meant to kind of feel like the most true horror thriller we've seen so far.
And you address how people deal with racism in the country. One of the easiest lines to throw out is, "I voted for Barack Obama." He was the best president ever. And you see this in the film. It's actually, I think, one of the first films I've seen where Barack Obama's name and President Obama has come up. But you see that in society all the time on this issue.
Somebody was saying that I've seen Get Out 4 times is the new "I would have voted for Barack Obama." I think it's a great line.
So, go ahead.
Well, it cost $2 to make the movie, and you've made $1 gazillion. Talk about the finances.
Gazillion?
Yeah. Talk
It
about
was a one gazillion.
Yeah, talk about the finances of the movie, because I think that's amazing. And now it's in the running. The word is it could be nominated for Best Picture. Talk about how much it cost you to make, and what you ended up making so far.
So the movie cost $4.5 million.
Yeah.
I think it's made 253 worldwide.
That's amazing.
Which is amazing, and I think it's part of it is because people see it multiple times. But for me as a filmmaker, I can't think about budget. Nothing's going to
told
stop
the
me from
story.
making this.
Has President Obama seen it?
You know, I like to think he has. You know, I like to think thinks it's pretty good.
You like it?
I think he would like it. I would have voted for me a third term as well.
There you go.
I could.
You would have won, too.
And I would have won. Yeah.
Something tells me he's seen it.
I think so.
Yeah,
I think so.
I think
he's hip, you know.
Yes, I think he's
he's a nerd, but he's hip.
Yeah, I think he's seen it. Jordan Peele, thank you. Congratulations. Boy, we're all hoping Oscar nomination for you.
Hey.
Seriously.
Thank you.